And now, from Grid Square Echo Mike 48, this is 100 Watts and a Wire.
Well, hello, friends. It's Christian. My call sign is Kilo Zero Sierra Tango Hotel, and this is episode number 409. And I think our third daily podcast. It's probably the most podcasts I've ever put out in a week's time. But we've talked about the reason why. I'm home with my youngest. We're trying to figure out daddy-daughter things in a new environment. We probably need to get her set up in a camp. Daddy needs to find a gig. And actually, I'm working on that. I started a new sort of, I don't know if you'd call it a boutique. It's just small right now because it's starting. Radio Core is a podcast production company that helps coach and produce podcasts for individuals and brands who may be looking to grow and expand through podcasting. And so I'm working on that. I'm working on 100 Watts and a Wire, getting this tuned up so I could maybe do this on a daily basis and perhaps, like others, make money, make a living. That's all I'm asking for. That's all I'm looking for, friends, is to try to take the next chapter of my working days and do the things that I enjoy doing. And this ranks right up there. We've been doing it since 2015. Everybody's welcome here. Doesn't matter what you look like, who you pray to, who you vote for. I don't care. I care. Are you cool? Are you kind? Are you a good person? All right. Fine. Get your ass in here. And that's where we are here with 100 Watts and a Wire. It's amateur radio amplified. Doesn't matter if you're experienced or you're just getting started. We're here to mentor, entertain, and provide a community for people who love radio around the world. And so here I am. I'm in a new studio, and I think the sound is good. I appreciate the sound. I appreciate having a room. Moving from Missouri to Florida, it's a whole different thing. It's not cheap to live here. It's not cheap to live anywhere, frankly. But, coming here, space, what you get space-wise for the money, it's a different ballgame than it was, say, in the St. Louis area. That said, we worked it out. Visually, I'm not completely excited or happy about the studio at this point. So I'm not really sharing the recordings of the videos at this time. They're fine. I did one yesterday, and put it up there about the guy eating all those hot dogs and where does it go and why does he have a bulletproof digestive system, or who did he throw up on his way? Because that's not human. It's not meant to be that way, and the dude's not a big guy. He doesn't even look like he's slightly obese. He just can put down these hot dogs. Anyway, that video was fine. It was a minute long, and, it just depends here. I'm not underground. In my old studio, I was, underground. I was in the bottom 18 thick-inch concrete walls, which in itself presented a problem for me. Because a lot of concrete, it's reflective and that sort of thing. So I had that issue, but aesthetically, from a visual standpoint, I had a functioning studio that actually looked pretty cool to me. Here, what I'm struggling with visually, and this is an audio podcast first, video would come along fine, it's fine. And I'm considering a live stream on Sunday, to get back with the fellas. I got some things to talk about. I want to catch up with them, man. It's been a while. We're making up for lost time here with these dailies, but I haven't been around the boys. And, you got to be around your people. We enjoy each other's company as a community on Facebook, on Discord, on YouTube. New platforms are cropping up all the time. There's a new one, just came out today from Meta. Maybe not today. I think it's been in the beta stage, but it's out there. It's called Threads. So, trying to keep up with all that sort of stuff is nutty, but our mainstays, Facebook, Discord, and it's kind of like the glue in between the shows. We talk about things, our struggles, etc. Today, I want to talk to you a little bit about, of course, the studio, and I'm going to continue to work on that. I may need to change the position a little bit. The issue is, friends, is that for the first time ever, I was underground in Missouri, and now I've got 3 windows, and every 10 minutes, the lighting will change. So I either, to control lighting, you got to go like blackout. You got to go blackout, then you can control it. I'm in a predominantly white room with 3 windows, and the sun, she moves where she wants to go. And so you're either blacking out every window and all the lights, which is how you do it. And that's why theater works so well, is because generally it can be as dark as you need it to be. You've probably seen or even been that guy who opens the door during a theater production and the light cracks in and everybody's like, geez, what in the world?
Jesus Christ.
Right. And so you can control the light in a theater setting. Most theaters will, once they get started, whether it's an orchestra or a play, you're going to have to wait till the break. You're going to have to wait. Then they let people in. You see them rushing down to their seats because either they were late, they got stuck in the toilet, whatever it was. Hopefully not physically stuck in the toilets. Anyway, I digress. Controlling the light here is a bit of a struggle for me, so it's kind of like, I don't know, I don't like it. It's changing every time I do it. On the other hand, I like the natural lighting in the studio. It's just inconsistent. So I'm at the point where I'm like, look, I'm up and running. I'm looking for work. I'm starting a small business. I'm getting 100 watts in a wire in a position where perhaps I can do it on a daily basis. At least 5 shows a week would be awesome. Maybe even do it live, but I can't go live looking blown out like Casper the Friendly Ghost on one day, and then I've got control of it the next. So it's either all control or I reposition some things and try to, I don't know, be a little bit happier or closer to it. One of the things I've noticed about living here in Sarasota is 40 meters. 40 meters back in Missouri was kind of all day, all night, and I think we're doing some radio blackouts. I mean, we're not doing it on purpose. It's what the sun is giving us. And so the daytime here, by 10 o'clock, 10:30, 11 in the morning, you just see a whole lot of strange. It really is not good radio on 40 meters. 20 meters is slightly better, but you're seeing it. At nighttime, everything is rocking. Early in the morning, everything is rocking. That's why I like 40 meters. I think it's a good, if you're just getting started, if you could put up and have enough space for a 40-meter antenna, you got all day long. In the last week or so, I'd say in the morning, early afternoon here, it's tricky. It's sparse. I hear locals, to me, maybe Georgia, Florida, strong, but it's just been a little dicey. And I think it's propagation more because, again, at night, she's humming. It's good. Early morning, delicious and fine. So I think it's just a matter of this point in time, propagation. Can't say it's geographic at this point. I just don't know. I don't have enough of a sample size to say, yeah, 40 meters sucks during the day in Florida, buddy. I can't say that, won't say that. I believe propagation first. Weather conditions could play a part, but it's been pretty bone dry. We got a little bit of I wouldn't even call it a storm. I'd say we got a little bit of rain. Just a few minutes yesterday in this part of Missouri. Need to let you know about our sponsor. Thank goodness for Bioenno Power. If you're looking for a power solution, check out Bioenno Power. They offer the best lithium phosphate batteries for your ham radios. Visit bioennopower.com. That's BIOENNO power.com. And don't forget, if you find value in 100 Watts in a Wire, you can support the content and the community you enjoy by visiting buymeacoffee.com/100watts. It's as easy as buying a cup of coffee. Becoming a member there now consists of one level. I did multiple levels. Some people have done well for themselves in business, and they have a little bit more than the rest of us, and that's great. Good on you. And they've supported 100 Watts in a Wire at a higher level. But I've been thinking now that I want to make this more of my job, to go to work for you every day, that we need to be community supported. Sponsors come and go. Some of them stay a little bit longer than others. But the community itself, this is where the rub is. So I wanted to create a membership level, just one membership level for everybody, $5 a month. That's as cheap as a cup of coffee. I know you're saying, I go to Long John Silver's and I get my coffee $2.10 on. That's what I do. I don't know what $5 coffees you're drinking. I don't. $5 a month will get you access to early content. You can support on a monthly basis, or you could pay all at once if you like to. You also get exclusive invitations to our cohort gatherings. And what is this, you say? This is where I am putting together maybe we do it once a month. We'll see how things start to land. But what we're going to do is all members will be invited to a private. It'll be private because I'm not going to broadcast this out. I'm not going to share it, but we're going to talk about our projects. Maybe talk about success and struggles, our ham radio activities, what we enjoy. Share ideas and concepts as a cohort in our community. $5 a month, one level only. I don't want to make different things like, you pay me more, you get this much more. Number one, I never liked that, really. I never liked that in my clubs. It feels like, okay, if you got the money, you get to sit on stage. Right, well, I don't. Well, damn it. So for me, 100 Watts in a Wire, everybody's included. We've been saying everybody's welcome here. So look, one thing, one membership. You get invitations to those gatherings when they happen. And a big one for me, we did this early on, but it was harder. It was much harder because I wasn't dealing with buymeacoffee.com. I was trying Patreon. I had several levels. They were taking 12%. I was like, nope, that ain't right. If we do a special video and I will say Steve, W7UDI, made a video on how to make a double bazooka antenna. Our members got that video first. You get it first, and it goes out to the general public. So there are privileges with your membership, and I encourage it. It will help me sustain in a time where I have nothing. We got lint and buttons right now. Thank goodness my wife is working, and I'm staying on the grind to try to make things happen. But, over the course of 9 seasons of doing this podcast, I didn't really push to earn. I wanted to cover. I just wanted to cover the cost. Now I got to cover the cost, and I can figure out a benefit for you and for everybody who would be interested. All the same, we can become community supported, and maybe, this will have legs or wheels, and we can do it more often and celebrate what brings us all together. Because it's not an icky way. I'm not like, give me the money. It's not that. I want to give you something back. I want to give you value for that, right? One level, everybody the same. Easy to do, easy to find. You can go to 100wattsinawire.com or go to Buy Me a Coffee. If you can't remember, you're listening to this on the plane, riding a bicycle, on the treadmill, whatever it is you're doing, You can find it by going to the website. Be careful, though, because a couple of people yesterday wanted to sign up and buy a cup of coffee. A cup of coffee costs the same as a month, right, of membership. So make sure that you're either, you could buy the coffee, that's cool, or the membership. So look for the membership there. Very simple and easy to do. And I want to present the companies to you today that have already agreed. Now, I haven't checked my email. I don't know if anybody new has come along yet. But as of yesterday, the first wave of companies that said, yes, we will support. We are happy to support in this way, because not all companies can just go ahead and say, yeah, let me be a sponsor for X amount of dollars for X amount of time. Right? That's why I say thank goodness for Bio Power. LDG was another one for several years. Helped sustain us as a company. I missed Dwayne and Mark. I got to touch base with them. Now that I'm back on the East Coast, we'll go surfing or something like that. No, I think I'm too old for that. Paddleboard? Fishing. Fishing might be good. Still believe in that company. Although financials may have to change and people have to make tough decisions sometimes, like I have to do. The companies that are on board right now, the first one to reach out and say I'm in was Radio Waves. Emmett, an old friend who is actually putting together a vertical antenna. He thinks it will work well for me here. We're going to be talking about that in the coming days. I'll bring him on and we'll talk to him about how it works, what it's going to do for me. Another one, MFJ. MFJ is on board. Rich said, I'm in. I'm always in. And Martin Jew has been a supporter with sponsorship, whether we have our activity days or we give things away, that kind of stuff. MFJ has always been a supportive in that way. They tend to put their money in print, which for me, I think that's very old school. It probably works. They could probably do 10 pages instead of 20 pages in there. But what do I know? What do I know? High five to Martin and Rich and the whole team over there at MFJ. You better get that money back on those podcasts. Peace and love. NI4L, some of the strongest antennas I've ever seen made. Chris Fox, NI4L, makes a strong antenna, and I've had them over the course of my ham radio career, 10 years now, a decade, trying many, building many, beta testing them. NI4L, they are on board as a participating member business. So look around with these companies. And finally, Bio Power, Kevin at Bio Power has been there for years. Years, y'all. These batteries are not cheap. You save up for them, you get them, you figure it out. It's a whole science behind battery life, using what wattage out and all this sort of stuff, and how long you can operate with a battery out in the field, blah, blah, blah. It's a whole thing, man. These batteries are not cheap, but they are badass. And when you have enough money to get one, people tend to go this direction. Well, imagine saying, look, I've got this amount of money. I'd like to get this battery. I'm a member of 100 Watts and a Wire. Can I get a little bit of a discount? Bio Power says, yes, you can. It may put you over the top. And I think the discounts with this company, Bio Power, Radio Waves, MFJ, NI4L, those initial companies, when you buy from them at a discount, the membership to 100 Watts and a Wire pays for itself. It's a win-win-win to me. The show gets your support. You get a discount on products, not only all the other member benefits, early access, cohort gatherings, conversations, deeper connections with the community, being able to support on a monthly basis or all at once, whatever you want. Great benefit. But you got a little bit extra money in your pocket. And because I used a platform like Buy Me a Coffee, it's all together. It's compiled, it's organized. It's so much easier for me. They get a little cut of the money. That's okay. Because I think the service that they're providing and helping me with, because I'm a one-man gang. And it's harder. So there you go. So thank you to those 4 initial companies. We'll try to add to it. If you've got suggestions on who we can approach, I'm happy to do that and see if they want to be participating members. Become a member of 100 Watts and a Wire, $5 a month, one level. That's it. One level. If you think I'm too low, that's okay. You think I'm too high, I understand. I think that's a good pocket. You're roughly looking at, I don't know, if I did this daily, you're looking at 20 cents an episode. Is the information and the value of the conversation, the community, and the content worth 20 cents an episode? If I did 4 or 5 episodes a month, is it worth $1? So that's kind of where I am. I'm not breaking your balls. It's a new benefit with the cohort, the discounts, early access, support by month, or all at once. That's it. Simple. Moving on. Looking at sponsors. If you have a company, you're ham radio adjacent, you want to sponsor this show, reach out. I'm easy to find. Christian at 100wattsandawire.com. We'll get you hooked up so you get your message and service in front of this audience, which is a loyal audience. Loyal. 409 episodes deep, y'all. All right, looking at my Gucci, it's about that time. We're bite-sized shows. I got a new problem I got to figure out. Yeah, you're right. The job, the earning, sorting out the new business, that kind of stuff. Yes, that's priority. I've got some RFI hash coming up in my stuff that I've never had before. I quickly this morning fired off, this is me typing, fired off a message to Scotty, who's a resident sound engineer. I'm like, dude, what the? And he's like, no. And he's telling me, and I was like, man, this isn't happening, is it? So when I key up on my radio normally, no problem. If I want to run my audio out of my radio to my mixer, which I do, I like to hear the audio in the room when I'm not transmitting, and generally I'll put the monitor of the radio on, turn down the volume, and make some contacts. No problem. I've been doing that here. All of a sudden, ain't this a mess? Now I've got RFI creeping in, and I'm going through cables like a madman. I'm looking around. I don't have all my cables that I had back in Missouri. I brought what was in service and working down here, basically. I don't have redundancy for every freaking cable. And I'm trying to minimize and look and troubleshoot. But the RFI is coming in through the mixer. I come out of my radio through the headphones, and I run it out to my mixer. Generally, you can do the opposite too, because you got behind your radios, you've got like an external speaker. I'm going to try that too, but I don't think I have the 1/8 inch, 3.5 inch out. It's got 2 of those out of my 7610. I'll see what I have. I don't know. I got to go from 1/8 inch to at least 1/4 or something to XLR into the board. But RFI is a mother, y'all. Damn. I'm like, what? I went to work one of the 13 colonies, and I was like, kilo. And it was like, oh, no. Oh, mad. I was mad as a hornet. I'm like, what is this about? And all I was doing, I was charging an HT. I'm thinking maybe it's a wall wart. Maybe it's this. Maybe it's that. I'm trying to go through the cables one by one. What the hell, man? Again, if I'm just doing from the radio and its normal process, and I'm not trying to extend my audio out through any speakers, which I've done for years, and I've done it here. All of a sudden, something's changed. Something's changed. Something's different, and some gremlin is up in my cut, messing up my audio. I got RFI on my audio? Hell no. I can't do that. So that's what we're looking at here, brothers and sister. I say sister because I think we have one lady. It's the 0.01% of the audience. I'm chasing down those gremlins, and I'll be doing that. If you have any comments, anything you're struggling with, show ideas, drop me a line, Christian@100wattsandawire.com. If you enjoy the daily, let me know that too, because I could be going to do other things if this is just a pain in the ass. And I understand that people listen to podcasts when it's convenient to them. But you've got some stuff to listen to, and there's shorter episodes when it's just me. Trying to give you the skinny from Sarasota, Florida, my new home in America. Take care of yourselves and look after each other. And by all means, if you can, please try and stay above the noise. 7-3.
To join the 100 Watts and a Wire community, visit 100wattsandawire.com.